but I'm ready to. Good evening. Thank you all for being here. If you don't want me to sing, just say so. Trying to get my voice adjusted. Allergies are still rough in this part of the country. Let me just say thank you for all of you guys who are going to come back and watch this on the replay. Remember to go back to the channel, watch all of our really cool videos, then subscribe, like, and share, all of that stuff. So thank you all coming in. We're a little early, so we're just going to kick back for a little bit and let people get in here. Nothing too exciting yet. Maybe I'll let you guys look at some birds. You guys want to see some birds? Doing good. You know, today's been, well, no birds. I was going to show you birds, but there's no birds. Today's a pretty good day. It's Tuesday in my part of the world. It's a beautiful day, as you can see. It's in the mid-70s, very light wind. I should have went fishing, but I didn't because I've got all the fishing gear packed up for our vacation coming up. So I didn't want to unpack the fishing stuff. So how are you, Sir Lawson? How are you? We appreciate you. How are things going? What's your big plan for the week? Anything exciting? You know, we got to take our doggies to the vet tomorrow. We're packing tomorrow. We're going to try to start loading our car tomorrow for our big road trip. Meme is in the house. I'm back again. I'm back, baby. I'm back. We're glad you're back, Meme. We appreciate you. I know how much you enjoy listening to me rant and rave. So, Fred went fishing, just caught a bass. Nice. I love to fish. I think fishing is one of the greatest activities that you can do to recharge, to reset, and to just commune with nature in a sense. I'm pretty good. I just got back from a conference track meet. Great. I didn't do great. Why aren't you doing great? Packing, pack, and going on. Okay. Going on a trip? Where are you going? Going on where? So, going on what? Yeah, well, why aren't you any good at track? I don't understand. You know, I was involved in track. Yeah. I didn't run track or anything like that. So don't be too excited. The festival season is starting. Oh my goodness gracious. I hope you got some antibiotics, some vitamin C, you know, vitamin whatever else you need to take with you for festival season. You know, I don't know what they have for that type of season, but I know you're going to be busy working it, but still, we know how the groupies are, you know, so I know what goes on, buddy. You can't fool me. We have some, yeah, there you go. That's what you know. Well, it's my first time running the mile in a meet because I always run the 800 meter dash. All right. And I don't really know how to run the miles. I didn't do great. All right. Now that makes sense. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I think it's great that you can run the mile at all. Cherish those moments when you're young and being able to enjoy running the mile. You know, I had some friends that were cross country runners, and I don't know how they did it, but they would run, you know, 10, 12 miles, you know, and go up hills and down hills, and just like, I don't know, that's not for me. Well, the real question is, are you going to have to run the mile again? And two, did you learn anything from losing? Cherish the love. That's right. Take advantage of it while you're young, all right? Because someday you're going to be old like me, and the love won't come around much. So, You got to cherish it. Or you'll meet a girl and settle down, and then, you go from driving a sports car to driving like a SUV. So your life changes when you get married and meet a girl. If you have kids, then you're driving a minivan. So enjoy the young life, both of you. All of you wonderful people, ooh, in the background. I got some of the yard work done today. I'm going to finish up tomorrow, I hope, so that I can wrap up my little series. I'm doing a series. I haven't got it published. I'm showing y'all my transformation of my dirty kitchen. But I want to clean things up a little bit more before I put the video together. I run my miles on the dance floor. Yeah, I mean, dancing is great exercise. The activity that you're going to be, just being around, even DJing. You guys are active. You're moving, which is good. I don't get any of that. I used to be a weightlifter, and I never got into running or dancing a lot. I was more about just powerlifting, and I enjoyed that. So never really did anything besides swimming. I like to swim. Never really, when I had my house with the swimming pool, I would literally swim, and I did for exercise. And I would swim in the pool, but it was it's not like an Olympic pool, but a decent sized pool, but still not very good or very big. So, I would swim out there and get exercise. And I bicycle. I used to bicycle. Believe it or not, I know, looking at me, right? Before I had to have a pacemaker put in, I was cycling, God, 4 or 5 times a week, anywhere up to 20 to 30 miles at a time. I was really into cycling. I had a great bike, and there were some really great, easy trails to ride in. And I would ride, sometimes 5, 10, 15, 20 miles in a day, and do that 5 times a week. Maybe we can meet next year on the Electric Daisy. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Anytime. You never know where we're going to be or where you're going to be. You never know when our paths may cross. So I did a lot of cycling. Loved it. But my heart went really bad. And I do ride my e-bike. I have an e-bike that I'm going to try to get into riding more this year again. The problem is where we live at now, it's kind of dangerous and crappy for bike riding. You kind of got to go across some major roads, and there's sidewalks not in places, and it's a little rough. The roads are dirty. We don't, for some reason, there's no street sweepers here, so there's a lot of glass and metal shards and things on the sidewalks, and I hate, and I load the bike up in the truck. I got a receiver that holds the bike, and I'll drive to different places and ride. I do not know where is it, and no, I don't know about it. Where is it? Now, if there's girls there, my wife won't let me go. Just the way it is. But man, it's a beautiful day here, guys. I mean, absolutely beautiful. Thank you all for being here in the background. You guys come forward. Don't be shy. Let us know who you are. Say hello to each other. Tell us what your problems are. How can we fix your problem? Oh, it's in Vegas. Really? What month? Because Vegas is doable. We've been to Vegas before. We like Vegas. We don't like all of Vegas. But, Vegas is like, search for it. I will. So it's called EDC in Vegas. Okay. That's a possibility. You never know, because we've talked about going back to Vegas. We want to go back to the Grand Canyon, and you take a tour from there. So you never know. You never know. I've been really wanting to take another cruise. So we'll have to see where we're living next year, if if we're doing good financially, if Lorelai's got the vacation time so that she can get off work, If I win the lottery, then, May 18th and 16th. Okay. I'll look it up. I will. What? We'll look it up and check it out. Are you going to be performing? Or are you going over as a guest? I wonder if they would let me perform. Yeah, but we never know, year to year, month to month. We don't know what we're doing in life. At least I don't. My wife would be perfectly happy just living here forever and doing her job, but I get bored. I get bored really easy. That's why I like to fish so much. Has anybody ever had this? Let me show you. Do you know what this is? So this is V8 juice, 100% vegetable juice. I like it. I don't drink it every day, but I really like it. So here's our ingredients. Vegetable juice, tomatoes, carrots, celery, so there's no chemicals in it. No additives. So, yeah. I actually prefer it in the small little cans, the V8 juice in the small metal cans, but I can't find it for some reason. So I got to get the bigger version. Oh, man. It's only 60 calories for this whole bottle. And there's, let's see. Fiber, sugar is 10 grams. Fiber is 3 grams. Protein is 3 grams. So, I mean, there's not a lot in here, but vegetables. I'm there as a stage producer. So, I don't know what that is, but I'm guessing you would help coordinate the people on stage. Is that what it is? You would help make sure that the event on the stage goes off without a problem? One thing I do, Lawson, is with V8 juice, if I'm hungry, but I'm not really hungry, drinking a V8 juice really does kind of knock that off. It kind of takes, if you go, I'm a little thirsty, I'm a little hungry, but I don't want to eat a bunch of food. You drink a bottle of this, and I think it helps to calm you down for a while. Yeah, it fills you up a little bit. It settles things down. I like to drink it at lunch, believe it or not. When the weather's hot, and I'm busy, I like to come in and just have a bottle for lunch and say, that's good for lunch. And I do that a lot because, I'm trying to get the old weight down some. So I'm trying to watch what I'm consuming. My poor dog. Well, what's weird is I like them a little bit cold. So I keep them in the refrigerator. But when I drink one, I pull it out and I wait 4 or 5 minutes and then I drink it. But I can drink them cold. Warm, room temperature, they're okay. But I seem to like them to have a little bit of a chill to it. Not real cold, though. I don't want it really cold. So it's kind of weird. But I can drink at room temperature. Especially the little ones, the little cans that I like. That's hard for me to find. I like to drink those room temperature because it's a very small amount. This is a bigger bottle. And so you can't, swig this down in one gulp. Yeah, not cold. No, it doesn't work for some reason. It doesn't work. It really, really doesn't. So, But yeah, a little chill on them, you know, we're gonna, but I can drink them room temperature. I don't want them hot. Now, I will tell you that a lot of people may not realize this, but you can actually make, use this as a base for different soups. Like if you wanted to make a Mexican style soup, you could use this as a base, add a lot of stuff to it. You could use it for beef stew. You know, you can put this stuff in a lot of different things. Instead of using water to dilute, you can use this, and it'll add a lot of nice flavor. There's a bird in the yard to it. Coachella, I know about Coachella. That's out in California. Yeah, it's a big, big rock music festival. Now, I remember watching all the YouTube videos. I think it was last year or the year before. They got a massive rain event, and people couldn't get out of there because it's like in the mud plains. And so when it rains, everything turns into mud, and there's no vegetation. So people got stuck everywhere, and they couldn't get their cars out, their campers out. So I remember that making the news a lot. All these people bitching and complaining about they couldn't leave because, you know, the dirt turned to mud when it rained. And nobody would come help them and all of this stuff. And the one road leading in and coming out of it, I guess, was so clogged with cars that were stuck. So, yeah, Mexican Coke that has the real sugar in it, yes. I agree with everybody. I do think it tastes a little bit better. I really do. I like it better. Without question, I think it's better. I think with our new president and his new cabinet, I was watching some of this today. You know, the Kennedy guy over Department of Health or whatever it is, Food and Drug, whatever he's over, he's wanting to eliminate dyes, food coloring from the American diet, which is harmful. And he's talking about the sugar issue also, the fake stuff. Do you know how many subscribers you're? Yes, I'm at 3,750. So I'm a little bit over, yeah. So I still need about 96,250 subscribers to be where I want. So maybe that's helpful. Mud party, yeah. Now in America, we have mud parties intentionally, especially in the South, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee. They do mud events where they turn farmland into mud, and they bring these big trucks out and swim in it and play in it, and they sled in it. But at Coachella, man, they weren't ready for that. I mean, you can see the video of all these people just coated in mud, bitching and complaining how the government wasn't, I thought it was funny because a lot of the people that were bitching and complaining that the government wasn't helping them were people that, if it didn't happen, would be complaining about the government. So, yeah, the corn syrup and the high fructose stuff and the asper chemical, whatever that is, that's supposed to be an imitation sugar. All of that stuff's really, really bad for you. Yeah, and I don't understand. Well, I do understand. I understand why American companies do it because it's cheaper and they make a bigger profit. But it'd be nice if these food companies would say, look, yes, we're filthy rich and we want to make a lot of money, but we're going to truly try to make our Coke, our product better and healthier. Tim's in the house. Good evening to Pat. Everybody said hello to Tim. Pat Riley's in the house. Pat's in the house. Good evening, Pat. How are you? How is even? So, yeah, I'm with you. I think the artificial stuff needs everyone. Lawson's asking how everybody is. Everybody said hello to Lawson. Yeah, we gotta, look, I'm not perfect, obviously. I'm a fat pig, but I would really like for, since, all right, here's what I'll say, and I know this is pretty crappy, but Americans can't control themselves. One group, a large group, are going to go for the cheapest food item there is, which is probably the worst food item to eat. Two, we are addicted to sugar. So I believe this, and I know it's sad, but I think Americans need help. And if it means the government has to get rid of fructose, corn syrup, and all this other crap to save us, I'm okay with it. Because obviously we can't save ourselves. Everybody saying hello to everybody. Imagine your how country is based on the full whole world. Full the whole world. Yes. Sanders, good to see you from Georgia. Sweet Georgia. Good evening. How are you doing today? We're doing good, man. Lawson says hello to Pat and Gus. Gus, everybody say hello to Gus. Pat says meme. Good to see you. Daisy enough. We're taking the doggies to the vet tomorrow. Lay down. So, we're getting ready to go on our trip, and our dog Daisy, the black one, has heart failure, right? And she's had some spells, and so I'm going to talk to the vet about what to do when that happens, and also if he recommends them taking a relaxer, a calmer, on our road trip because of the heart condition. Two, Lily has to go in for a heartworm test and her heart shot, annual shots. But she's been acting a little weird. Lily's the red one that got ran over by the car. She's been acting a little really tired the last couple of days. So we want him to, while she's there, to kind of check her over, make sure she doesn't have an infection. Tim says, hello, Lawson, hello, Tim. How is everybody doing? So, Pat, what are you up to? Our brother and girlfriend went snorkeling in the ocean. Pat's brother snorkeling with his Filipina honey. He's having fun. Yesterday in the Philippines. Spells, yes. Sent photos. Okay, cool. We didn't ever snorkel in the Philippines, did we? I think the first trip I went to the Philippines, we snorkeled and swam out on one of these remote islands. But Lorelai and I've snorkeled because we have really nice snorkel gear. Where did we snorkel? Florida, of course. I think Aruba and Curacao and the DR. The Gabe is in the house. Do they know? I asked Tim. They don't. I asked. We wouldn't be able to afford it anyway. Just to have an echocardiogram done on the dogs was going to be like $3,000. So, no, they don't. Gabe. Everybody said hello to Gabe. Gabe said hello to everybody. My day's been going good, Brother David. Thank you. Good. Well, it's good. It's been a busy day. We're getting busier and excited. I did some yard work today. I got another day before the yard's done. And I want to wrap up the video I'm going to make about my new dirty kitchen area. So I'm just got a couple more days of work before I put that together. Hello, Gabe. On 6 a.m. Urim time, a friend of mine arrived in the Philippines. Oh, nice. So when are you going to pack up and go to the Philippines? They need DJs over there. And they got a lot of honeys. Hey, Gabe, young man, yes. Did I get the Cash App? Oh, I forgot. I have Cash App. I have a Cash App. Zillow or Cash App? I don't know what I have. No, man. It's dumb. Lost. Yeah. Oh, Gabe. Hi, Gabe. Yes. No. All I have on my YouTube channel right now is PayPal. So maybe I need to hook the other ones to it. I just keep forgetting because, to be honest, we don't really e-beg that much. We really don't. I'd like to have $5 million to buy a beach house, as you guys all know. But we don't usually e-beg for small money unless we're raising funds to buy rice for the Philippines or something. So I don't really have a lot of the financial stuff on our YouTube channel. So yeah, But yeah, we've snorkeled a lot, and we did the bob. I can't remember what they're called, but I think this was in Carousel, which is an island next to Aruba. We were on one of our trips, and you take these underwater torpedo things and you ride them like a motorcycle. You kind of get on them and they dive you down in the water, and you can snorkel and go deep down and come back up. They're like a motorcycle for under the water. SAR testing doesn't measure, but no testing is accurate if they teach oh, I agree with that, man. Well, the testing for intelligence doesn't work. It's about because there's too much cultural biasness. It doesn't work. There's too many, even in my own area, you got too many diversified cultures, microcultures going on. So when you go to take a standardized test, they're not using the language and the terminology in the way that your group of people means it or understands it. So it's not a true measurement of intelligence. Gabe says, I got $1.83 in my Cash App. Nice, man, you are rich. It's better than $1.82. Lawson says, I've snorkeled with my cousins in Jamaica before. It's really cool. Yeah. Lorelai likes to snorkel more than I do, but that's fine. But snorkeling's good, We're not going to snorkel this time when we go out. I don't even know where the hell I put the snorkel gear. I'm not even for sure. Oh, I know where it is now. I remember. But we're not going to go snorkeling this trip to the Gulf of America. We're not going to snorkeling this trip. I think Lorelai's planning on swimming, so we are going to go swimming at the beach. We'll do that for a few hours, but we're not going to go snorkeling. I just don't want to. YDW, what? I don't know what you mean. So what did you mean about what? What do you mean? Snorkel? Gabe, you don't know what snorkeling is? Is that what you're asking? And German, and I understand nothing. I am them. There you go. About snorkeling? Okay, snorkeling is, have you ever seen somebody scuba dive when they put a mask on and they got a tank and they get in the ocean and they go deep down and look at things? Well, that's scuba diving. Snorkeling is when you have a mask on that has a breathing tube that comes up and you kind of just swim around in the water, and maybe you go 2 or 3 feet below and you come up, but you kind of just float around and look at the bottom of the ocean. Lawson says, I think it's done at the Gulf of America now, but I don't think it's a big deal. What the hell is that? I'll tell you why I think it makes sense. Because to me, it's not a big deal. I just like saying it because it rubs people's nose and irritates people. But I think calling it the Gulf of America only makes sense. And let me tell you why. Not because of us, the United States, because you have North America and South America, right? And so the Gulf is the Gulf, and maybe they should just say the Gulf of the Americas. It's better when it's called the Gulf of Mexico? I don't think so. Mexico is the best. Have you ever been to Mexico? Don't go to Tijuana. Make sure you don't go to the donkey show. Don't go watch donkeys in Tijuana. Gotta go, bye. All right, Gabe. Hear dogs barking. Yes, we're in the Philippines. Instead of roosters, it's dogs. That's the reason I'm from Germany. What I'm talking about. I know, man. I know. I get it. I do. So, yeah, that's why that's where I was going with that. So I'm okay with the Gulf of America. I like it. And plus it pisses people off, so I enjoy that. But I think if you think about this logically, Mexico is a very small part of the Americas. The Gulf touches a lot of countries, right? Or several countries. Why wouldn't it be called the Gulf of Americas? So that's my vote. Well, I actually vote they call it the Gulf of Pac, P-A-C. Why don't we change the name to Gulf of Pac and Pac Land, you know? You know, when I have friends, your bugs are getting mad already? My bugs haven't started yet. But they will, but they haven't started yet. We got a few flies. Well, I saw a moth the other day, but mosquitoes, not yet. It's still pretty mellow here. Lorelei put a bunch more pepper plants out in the yard. I hope her pepper plants survive. I think she's overwatering them. But my dog. You want to do it? Okay, I forgot what we were talking about. Meme, you're going to have to give me more information. Because you know how I'm slow-minded. You know, I'm one of those Americans that are kind of slow. So, and I get distracted. Yeah, you know, we were in the mid-70s today, and we're going to be in the mid-70s all week, which is really nice. You know, I need to clean up the yard. So, it's supposed to be in the 80s, mid to low 80s in Alabama all next week. I'm hoping it gets a little bit warmer. I don't know. But we will secure the property and go enjoy our little vacation. But yeah. Yes, absolutely. Okay, meme, yes, I want to do that. I want to rename it to the Gulf, G-U-F, PAC, P-A-C is what I want to do. G-O-L-F is the game, G-U-L-F is the water. So, I don't like Gulf. PAC, if they name it the Gulf of PAC, would you not get a discount on your new? Yeah, see? Tim's thinking outside the box. He's using his brain. Yeah, because we're happy to live on the Gulf Coast. We love the Gulf Coast. We've been on the East Coast quite a bit, but we actually really like the Gulf Coast, to be honest. So, I should, right? Come on. Tim, that's good thinking. I should get a big discount. Like, only have to pay $1 and no taxes forever. So, yeah, that's a good thought. Huh. I saw something today which I blew my mind. What's the place in Mexico? Okay, we made it. You made it. All right, see? Cozumel? Yeah. The port of Cozumel or the port of Cancun? Cozumel? I think it's Cozumel. I guess apparently the port of Cozumel from the cruise ship industry is going to have over the next couple of weeks, they're having literally like 20,000 people a day come there. What else can we change to me, you know? Yeah, I'm okay with Dominique. That's why I say, why don't we make the Philippines great again? We can do that. Did I say the Philippines? Well, the Philippines need to be made great again. Why can't we make YouTube great again? We need to join together and make YouTube great again. Oh, you guys want to see my new watch? I got a new watch. I paid $15 for this brand new watch. You guys want to see it? See? I like digital watches. This is the only digital watch I have. I really want a Casio, like from the 1980s. You know, the gold one, the gold-plated one that has just the face on it. That's digital. But, holy crap, Tim. Was hot. 107 at 11:30. Jesus, to 7. That's horrible. Man. That seems hotter than normal for the Philippines. I wonder if you guys are your weather pattern has shifted or something's going on. You know what I mean? I wonder if that has happened. I'm gonna, man. Let's see. Oh. That's some warm weather. Yes, we make all the things great again. I have no clue what you said after that. But I got a feeling what you said was, if we make everything great again, then we will just be like the adventures of the Philippine American couple's YouTube channel, because it's already great. I think that's what you said. I've seen some old time watches at Walmart. They light up back in that. Yeah, this is actually a what they call, this is a Timex Expedition. Walmart sells it for like $69. They had it on clearance for $15. So I bought one. I was going to sell it, because it's brand new. I was going to sell it. But I got looking at it and went, it's so lightweight because it's just a cheap Timex. I think I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it. But what I want is a Casio, like from the 80s, that's gold plated, and flat, that doesn't have any of the extra buttons or anything on it. Tim says it cooled down to 95 at 7:30. Jesus Christ. Now, let me tell you a story about Timex. The origin of this watch is from where? Does anybody know what country this watch came from? This is the kicker. If you can guess where this watch came from, the country that this watch came from, I will take my shirt off right here tonight. I'll do it. Exactly, says meme. Timex watches, yes, yes, yes. So now watch nobody answer. Because I got a really good story to go with this, with Timex watches. From the United States? No, sir. No, sure isn't. Oh, man, yes. No, not from the U.S., man. You want me to tell you so I don't have to take my shirt off? From the Philippines. This watch came from the Philippines. It's from the Philippines. And here's the kicker. It says it right in the box, with it. I said, once you have learned the German language, you can achieve a lot together. That's it. I knew that. See, I knew that. Brother David, got muscles? Yeah. Nope, not Thailand. It comes from the Philippines. It's actually put together in the Philippines. And I thought this was really funny, sad but funny. When Lorelei and I were very first married, her sister is a school teacher, and she just started teaching school in the Philippines. Graduated finally, and was going to go being a teacher. And she had in her mind that she needed to have a watch that had hands on it, and she wanted to be a Timex Indiglo watch, because apparently that's what all the school teachers wear. I'm like, well, and then I'm sitting there going, well, I don't really give a crap what watch you wear, So she wanted Lorelei to send her one from America. Well, back then I didn't know this. So we go and we find the one that she wants, and it's like, I don't know, $75, $80. We put it in a Balak Bayan box with all kinds of other shit. But when I got the watch home, I looked at it and it said made in the damn Philippines. I told Lorelei, why didn't you just go down and get it in the Philippines? I mean, it'd probably $20 versus $80 in America. So that's where they're from. Just saying. So I got a watch and sent it back to the Philippines, from the Philippines to America, back to the Philippines. Yeah, out of Clark, they make a lot of cell phone components, yes. I guess Thailand is getting excited about doing business with us and some other countries. So I don't understand why people laugh at the German language. Don't forget that the English language is descended from... Oh, it is not. Oh, who told you that? Man, is that one of those German folk tales like the the Tell of Lorelei and the Tell of Grendel or something. Come on, meme. English language was something all on its own. And then us Americans came around and we improved it. And come on. We made the English, Americans made the English language great again. Just saying. Come on. And where's the origin of all languages? Why are there so many languages? That's the interesting thing people ought to ask. Why is there so many different languages? You know, was it aliens who came down and got us all confused? You know, different aliens from different planets. They started Awadanya and Ukakakanda and Atulali. So do they give a different language? All these different aliens come down and, you know, visit us and give us weird ass languages so that none of us can understand each other? You know? You know what I mean? I wonder what started it. Petroglyphs. I get a kick out of petroglyphs and the alien thing. Because I look at a lot of these things that prehistoric people or you know, ancestors did on rocks, you know, and walls. And they're like, oh, well, this looks like a space alien. No, it looks like somebody doesn't know how to draw a freaking human being. It looks like they can't draw. Here, look, let me show you how I draw. See, it looks like a damn alien, not a Bigfoot, not a human. So I like how I think they misinterpret, you know, and then you got to ask yourself, because people go, well, you know, what were they doing drawing all this? Well, because they were bored as hell. What do you think they were doing? They were entertaining themselves, having a good time. Maybe some dude was trying to impress some chick. Hey, look at me. I can scratch this rock up. Oh, yes, meme is going to get us going here. Originates from Old German, Anglo-Saxon in the 5th century. Germanic tribes, mainly the Anglos and Saxons from present-day northern Germany, Denmark, migrated to Britain. No wonder Britain's so screwed up. No. We like to think everybody originated from the Vikings. Or, you know, something like that, I guess. But yeah, I know what you mean. I actually studied that, or was in a class one time where they talked about that. I would agree. I agree with you. I just like to say that everybody should talk like Americans. Because, you know, Americans are the most important culture, society, country in the whole entire world. So you got to remember it's all about us. You know, the rest of the world just revolves around us. You know, that's what people don't understand. Come on, you know. Any questions? Oh, hell, I got all kinds of questions. What about that? Not really. You know, so not really. We talked about the other day about how I was explaining to a friend that when Hitler was in charge, he sent his people to the polar caps looking for the space aliens, not the illegal aliens, but the space aliens, to try to get their technology, right, so that he could win the war and dominate the world. So, but look, every country's done a lot of goofy crap, you know. It's kind of like in for a penny and out for a pound. You know, that's a British thing. So there's a lot of cool saying, you know, Latin. I thought, you know, oh, how do you guys feel about the poor old Pope killing over dead? Now, I'm not Catholic, and I understand everything about the Catholic religion. I just not Catholic, thank God. But I don't. Well, here's my question. So Pope Francis killed over dead, but what is the other pope that retired still living? Because remember, there was 2 popes. One pope decided to retire and give up his throne, right? His popeship, and went and retired, right? And then Pope Francis got elected as pope, and now he's dead, so they're going to elect somebody else, which I'm just curious if there's, you know, that other pope is still alive. So, I'm your great cousin. Well, you are, because we're actually German. my heritage is Germany. It really is. So, yeah, my family goes back to the land of Germany. It does. I don't know what generation came over. You know, I know my dad was American. His dad was American, but I think, so that would be my grandfather was born in America, but his dad was German. I think that's our story. Which part of Germany, I don't know. Nobody seemed to know. I guess they drank too much beer, and they couldn't remember where they were from. Because my last name is a version of a German name. So, Tim says, the petroglyphs are from aliens using the earth as a giant etch-a-sketch to clear the earthquakes we were invited. Yeah, I mean, look, because I watch a lot of this stuff, and I love it, but I think it's funny. You got one group of people telling us, well, you know, the humans, the prehistoric humans, or the old humans. What I can't remember what other term they use, but the humans from 1,000 years ago, well, they were too stupid to be able to come up with any of this on their own. So aliens had to come down. And then you got another group of people going, well, ancient civilizations were way smarter than we give them for. And they had technology that nobody knew about and understood. And they had nothing, like you people are all full of shit. The white people, the Pope dies last Sunday. Yes. So he's in the state of rest. The white Pope, yes. The black Pope is already, I didn't know we had a black Pope. The black poop is already alive, not Pope, but poop. So there was two popes. I can't remember the other one, but he quit and wanted to go live in solitude. And then but the one that died the other day got elected, and they were together for a while in some meetings. Pope Benedict died. Oh, did he? Okay. So Tim knew what I was talking about. Okay, good. David is a German name like Lord. That's correct. It is. David is, and look, this is what everybody needs to understand and appreciate. David means King of Kings. So look, all of you, need to just donate to my PayPal account because you should worship me. I don't see anything wrong with that. That's right. And Lorelei actually has a cousin or a family member that's German. When I was in the Philippines, the girls would speak their language. I would copycat speak Tagalog and Visayan to them, and they laughed at me. Yes, I don't do it, man. I suck at it. Having fun, teasing, and joking. Yes, I can't even say tampo right, apparently. I can't say, any Filipino words correctly. I have too much of a slang in it, Lorelei tells me. Okay. I'll tell you guys what I think about aliens. Do I think there are life forms in the universe other than us? Hell yes. Absolutely. 1,000%. Do I think there are little gray aliens running around the universe like Star Trek? Not really. Do I think there's another humanoid being? No, probably not. But I absolutely 1,000% believe we are not the only living organisms in the freaking universe. Because one, we don't know what the definition of, our definition of a living organism is minute. It could be this big and we only see it this big. So our definition of living could be completely insufficient. Do you realize that there are over 180 dialects? Yes, I know. And that's what's crazy. I know. When I was studying about the Philippines, that's one thing I came across. I'm like, Jesus Christ. How the hell could anybody keep up with that? So, yeah, so I don't even try to speak Tagalog or Visayan or anything. I just don't. And a lot of times I pick up, and I don't understand a lot of it, but I pick up body language. And for somebody who's not good with language skill, my language, what would you call it? My aptitude for a foreign language is very, very low. I don't pick up on foreign languages at all very well. It's very difficult for me. It's one of my deficiencies, which I have many of. So I read body language very well, but I miss a lot of conversations. I believe in UFOs, unified. Yeah, look, Pat, everybody. I believe in UFOs, unidentified flying objects, yes. Or the new one, which is called what? UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon. Do I believe in that? Absolutely. Do I think there may be little men in there flying a ship? Like Star Trek? Yeah, I don't know. But I believe that we don't have a freaking clue about our planet, our ocean, our skies, our space, the universe. The knowledge we have is so small that it's just unbelievable. There is nothing more than you. You are the universe. That's a lot of people, and a lot of people think they are the universe. Several dialects are gone now because the last people to speak them have died. That's right. I remember reading about that. That on a lot of the remote islands, back 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, they had a lot of different dialects. But those islands, those people dying out, and the push for English as a second language, and for a push for Filipino language, a national language, and the push for these people leaving the islands, forgetting how to speak their dialect, Because, if you don't use it, you lose it. And Lorelei has, there's times just to bust her chops, I will ask her, well, what does that mean? She's like, oh, shit. Let me think. What does that word mean? Because I hear something on YouTube or something. Well, what are they saying? And she's like, I got to slow it down and hear it again. So I did a video on the dialects of the Philippines. Nice. So how many dialects can you speak, Tim? Raise your vibrancy, vocabulary. I don't know what that word is, meme. Rise up. Okay. Rise up. Rise up. So yeah, I don't know. I just don't think Star Trek is happening. I don't think Star Trek is happening. I wish it was, because I like Star Trek. I'm not a Star Wars fan, but I really like Star Trek. But I don't think Star Trek's happening. I just don't think that. I do think there are so many things that we don't understand, we have no comprehension of, and we never will. I speak one, but it's called English. Man, that's the way I am. And it is one of the frustrating things, right? And obviously, Meme can speak multiple languages. But one of the most frustrating things is to be in a group of Filipinos or Thailanders, Japanese, Mexicans, whatever it may be, and they're just getting all excited and crazy in their language, and you're sitting there like a bum on a log. It's one of the frustrating things of being in a foreign country. But it is just what it is. A lot of older generations died on Star Trek. Yes, passed away. I know. Happy's back in the house saying hello to everybody. Everybody say hello to Happy. Yeah, the original crew. I mean, William Shatner's still alive. He's doing one of those alien shows now. If you think about Star Trek, William Shatner, or Captain Kirk, he was a whore. He was a man whore. You know that? Girls, enough. Captain Kirk was nothing more than a man whore. That's what he was. Meme thinks Star Trek is happening right now. Well, it may be playing on reruns in my house. I don't know, but just don't think it is. I truly don't think it is. And, you know, man, that dog is loud over there. I heard Leonard Nimoy buried under a water fountain. Did he? All right. I know William Shatner didn't go to his funeral. Pat, the original Star Trek came out in the 60s. Yes. Airplane says, I'm actually not so happy today. Well, why aren't you happy today? Tell us what the problem is. Thing about Stargate, all the women are Stargate. Yeah, all right. I like Stargate was okay. His headstone in water, cool. Sure did. All right. Wow. My grandpa passed away last night. Oh my goodness, sorry to hear that. Women are the only ones that have the ability to bring life into the world. Females, that's right. So Happy's grandfather passed away. So Happy, was it unexpected, or did you guys kind of know that he was going downhill? We go vacation next week. You guys will see us in Alabama on the beach next week. I'll take you guys live streaming with me. Well, that's okay. My mother died on Christmas, I think the day after Christmas. So, yeah, sorry, the day after Christmas. No, my grandmother died the day after Christmas. It was my grandmother. My mother died when I was 6. So my grandmother died, and I'll tell you a story if you want. We went to Christmas dinner. I was right out of high school, living with some buddies in an apartment where we just basically got drunk all the time and chased girls, because that's what young American men do. And we would go to everybody's house for Christmas. So we'd load up, go to Paul's house, and then go to James's house, and then we went to my house, and we gathered all the food we could and take back. But I told my friends, my grandmother, at Christmas, I told my friends, I said, my grandmother's going to die probably tomorrow or the next day. And they're, oh, I said, no, watch. I knew, I could see it in her eyes that she was dying. So, and she died the next day. So don't let it dampen. Here's how you twist this around, Happy. And listen to me, because I'm an old guy. I used to be smart. I used to be good looking and rich, and I got married, and now I am what I am. So here's what I want you to do. I don't want you to think negatively. On your birthday, I want you to recognize that this was the day that your grandfather died, or the day before. It doesn't really matter. It's not that important. And when you do that, I want you to think about all the wonderful times you had with your grandfather, because that's going to make your birthday even more special, because now you have a reason and a set date and time to be able to say, gee, Grandpa, I miss you. We got to go whatever, fishing, hunting, scuba diving, girl looking, whatever you guys did, eating hot dogs, whatever it was. You get to reflect on all of those good times to celebrate your birthday. Maybe he did something on your birthday sometime. You get to remember all of that now. Yes, I remember that. I remember, Tim, the Star Trek was produced by Lucille Ball and Disney Arnaz Studios, yes. Luckily, they didn't stick with it. Gene Roddenberry. Happy says, thanks. Anytime, Happy. We're happy to help. Happy to help. But yeah, Star Trek's cool. I like Star Trek. I wish it was real, because I would volunteer to go. I mean, they wouldn't hire me because I'm old and decrepit, but I would volunteer to go. I would be the first person to sign up for Starfleet. You damn right. Sign me up, honey bunny. Woohoo, let's go Star Trekking. You betcha. I would do it in a heartbeat. I mean, if I was healthy and fit and wasn't married, I'd go to Mars with Elon. Happy prefers the Star Wars. I think Star Wars is too far-fetched, and why I don't care for it. It's not realistic. Star Trek has more of a tinge of realism to it, I think. The cool thing, There's a lot of things they did on Star Trek that we do now today, which is kind of cool. But I'm a Star Trekker, I guess, is what I like to do. But, I think the original Star Wars was good, but everything after that, I haven't watched any of the latest stuff. Pat likes the old version of Star Wars. Yeah, I haven't watched anything since the original, to be honest. No, The Return of the Jedi was the last movie I watched when it came out in the movie theaters. So I watched Star Wars, The Return of the Jedi, and that's the only Star Wars stuff I've ever watched. People I knew. So, what is today? Oh, today's Tuesday, guys. Did you know that? Tomorrow, Wednesday, our friends leave to go back to the Philippines. My English would not be nearly as good if I didn't study computer and music. I could see that, especially, I know I was talking to a language teacher years ago, and she told me some of the best ways to teach a language was to teach them in song. And then you explained to them what the words meant. You got them to where they could sing it and pronounce it. And at that time, you're like, row, row your boat gently down the stream. You explain what the word row means, and so they start putting two together. I talked to a language teacher who told me that. Fun fact, Journal Huck's speech in German sounds like Hitler. Well, I am probably going to very disappoint you, Happy. I don't know who General Hux is. But look, we don't want to give Hitler any credit for anything, But here's what I'm going to say. He was a fantastic orator. And if you know what that word means, that means a public speaker. He was very good at public speaking. Very good. He's, like Barack Obama and Bill Clinton were very great orated. Orson Welles, people like that are very good at it. And Hitler was very good at it. But I don't know who General Hux is. But thinking of the word Hux, see how I can deviate from this. Toyota is going to be producing a Hilux in America, but it's not going to be the big, weird, monstrous-looking four-wheel drive Tacoma in the Philippines. It's going to be a more like a multi-cab pickup. It's going to be designed to where you can put all kinds of different cargo boxes on it, and the bed will be flat like on a multi-cab. Very charismatic, he was. Oh, General Hux is a fictional carrier, Star Wars franchise, first introduced in 2015 Star Wars, The Force Awakens. Okay, yeah, no clue. Yeah, no clue. That's interesting, though. Yeah, I just never watched anything after Return of the Jedi. I just found it, to be honest, a little silly. I just couldn't get into, but I'm not a big fantasy person. So I'm more of a science guy, not a fantasy guy. And so it's kind of like the movies. I thought they were good. We watched those, the Five Kingdoms. What were they? Where they were the Hobbit series. We liked those. Avatar was good. It was fantasy. But a lot of the fantasy stuff, I don't care for the fantasy stuff. But I think it was called The Hobbit, The Five Kingdoms, and The Ring, and all of those. Those were pretty good. I wasn't a big fan of Harry Potter either. I'm just kind of like, this is stupid. I don't know. I like more realistic stuff. It's kind of like some of the new sci-fi stuff on Netflix and stuff like The Boys. I don't really care for that. I did watch the series called Black Mirror. Has anybody ever heard of that series on Netflix called The Black Mirror? It kind of reminds you of Alfred Hitchcock and Twilight Zone in a modern version. What the hell is that? Which some of them's, there's like a new episode, a new storyline, a new everything every time. And some of them are really good and some are not. But, they have a lot of good looking women on the show. But they're just, one show here and they go to another one. And they do it in America and British. And Legend with Tom Cruise. Legend with Tom Cruise. The movie Legend sounds familiar. What was it about, Pat? Maybe you can jog my memory. What was it about? I wonder why every time Germany is mentioned, the first thing people think about is Hitler. Think inside the box. Well, it's because we're not in Germany. Seriously. What is the most famous thing worldwide about Germany? Hitler. I know it's not fair to Germany anymore because Germany's not Hitler, right? But for people outside of Germany in the world, the worst thing that happened was Hitler, and he happened to be German. And I'll tell you why a little bit like this meme. And I know it's not fair. It's kind of like in America, after President Kennedy was shot and killed in Dallas, it took Dallas 20 years before people started hating Dallas. It wasn't until the TV show Dallas came on and they made a new fictitious how wonderful Dallas was, did the image of Dallas, Texas start to change. Because that was gigantic and worldwide. So I know it's not fair why we first think of Hitler. What else are we going to think of? We do think of the German chocolate and beer and lederhosen, and the girls in the bikini. Oh, that's Swedish. But yeah, so I know it's not fair, but it truly is it's kind of like, what do we think about Italy? Well, in America, at least we think about the food and the mafia. Probably not fair to them, but it is what we think of. Pat says the movie, good movie, it was Monstrous Fairies. Okay, the demon in the movie. All right. I did like the series on Showtime called True Blood. I don't know if you guys ever saw that. What do we think about when we talk about Japan bombing Pearl Harbor? And now the nuclear spill. That's right. The Black Mirror is your smartphone. Boy, you got that right, buddy. Yeah, True Blood was really good. They had fairies and vampires and werewolves and all kinds of things in it. A lot of good actresses. Showtime used to have a whole lot of really good shows on. Donovan was a good show, if you guys haven't seen that. We're a big Dexter fan. We've watched all of the Dexter multiple times. They got a new series, season 2 of Dexter is coming out this summer. And then, of course, they did Dexter, the New Blood. So we like those series. But, yeah, I don't know. But I watched the Black Mirror series, and some of them were pretty good. Some were so-so. Well, look, meme, and this should make you feel somewhat good. I do like all of the TV series, and we get them a lot on Netflix. And I know it's not German, but a lot of it is from Swedish, from other Scandinavian countries. Murder series is what they are. Some are in Germany, based out of Germany. Pat says, I'm a big fan of Dexter. Yeah, I watched the reruns. And Dexter New Blood was really good. We'll do it. I'll save it and look at it. I know, meme. Isn't that crazy? See, in America, he would have been deported back to his home country. So, I know it. It's good. All right. Nice. Yeah. So, yeah. Somebody's moving a bunch of, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing in their backyard, but they took a little backhoe and a skid steer into somebody's backyard over there. But they're unloading their trucks over here for some reason, and driving their equipment about, 200, 150 yards over. So I don't know why. A lot of the older movies I haven't seen yet. Yes. I gotta admit, I like the old John Wayne Western movies. For all of you wonderful people in the background, come forward, say hello to everybody, let us know who's all here. Tell us what your favorite TV show or your favorite movie is. We can talk about aliens if we do that all the time. I wonder what wouldn't have happened if Hitler passed our school. I wonder what would have happened if Hitler passed art school. So, are you happy? Are you kind of going, well, if he would have became a full-time artist, then he wouldn't been the Hitler we know? It's a good question. I mean, and this is something that's really fascinating about the world. What if he fell down and broke his ankle as a youngster? Would that have changed his path? So it's kind of like the butterfly effect. What if I fell down as a young, well, I did. What if, I don't know, what if, right? I could have become the president of the world. So, you know what I mean? That's what I think is really funny and deep to think about. Maine believes the same would happen because it's history before it happens. So, are you saying it's predestined? I need to get going now before it gets too hot. All right, Tim, are you going to the gym? I hope you don't hurt yourself in the heat. Stay hydrated, drink plenty of Gatorade, and then make sure you got the AC turned on. But Tim, we appreciate you. We do indeed. So yeah, there's a lot of people that believe that meme that no matter what happens, the destiny was predetermined. Well, I don't think but I don't know. I understand what you're saying, but I don't know if I agree with it because I don't think you can control every little detail to make something happen. You can manipulate and shift and twist to get things to happen, but like I just said, what if Hitler accidentally got ran over by a car? They try to separate us, they do. The East Indian Trading Company, I do know about it. That's partly why America was founded. A lot of people believe America was founded on religious freedom, and that's not accurate. America was founded on greed, is why we have America today. Because it was all about greed, business, making money. It wasn't about religious freedom. So yes. Man, what are they doing over there? What the hell are they doing over there? No gym today, banking and maybe lunch. Ooh. We were talking with our friends that leave for the Philippines tomorrow because we all miss the food in the Philippines. A lot of things I don't miss about the Philippines, but the food I miss. And so we were sitting around their table the other night going, oh my God, what are you going to eat when you get there? Which restaurants are you going to? Oh my God, when you're there, could you have one of the empanadas for me? Well, we're going to try to find some good places to eat in Alabama. We're going to try to eat as much seafood and fish as we can, I guess, down at the Gulf of America. Oh, sorry, the Gulf of Pack. So, I'm trying to see what the hell those people are doing over there. Maybe they're going to put a swimming pool in. I don't know. Or maybe they saw that I extended my dirty kitchen and made a real one, and they're jealous, and they're going to put their own in. I don't know. What happened with that? All right, come here. Ooh-ah. Say hello to Daisy. Sit down. Ever had any addictions? Yes, of course. Sugar. Look at me. Look at me. I'm addicted to sugar. Holy crap and butt farts. You know, I mean, holy shit, and smoking dope. You know, I'm not a, I've never been addicted to drugs, luckily, or cigarettes. But obviously, I'm addicted to sugar. You know, how about you, Happy? But drugs, no, no drugs. To be honest, drugs are just never my thing. Now I know all about drugs. I was in the drug world a little, and I made money in the drug industry when I was a kid. But I definitely did not. I didn't like. I guess back then I didn't enjoy being out of control. I wanted to be in charge of my situation, my surrounding. So I didn't like being high or anything like that. I didn't like it, and I never smoked. Pat says, I like sugar to candy sometimes. Yes. Well, I don't drink Coke anymore or Pepsi, but look, I know I'm addicted because look, all you got to do with me is give me 1 or 2 bottles, of Coke or Pepsi, and it is a nightmare for me not to buy more and more and more and more. So once you get me weaned off of that, we got to keep me weaned off of soda. I mean, America, it's a spell. Witchcraft, yes. Happy's had a food addiction. Which food were you addicted to? Do you mean from a clinical standpoint, or just like, hey, I had a craving for dill pickles for 4 months and I ate 37 gallons of dill pickles? Which do you kind of mean? Pat says, I believe in witchcraft. I don't know if I believe in what we think. What is your definition of witchcraft? Junk food addiction. So did you kick it? Were you able to get rid of it and cut it out of your diet? Because that's sugar, junk food sugar. Look at me. Do you want to grow up to look like me? Happy? Stay away from the sugar. This is a public service announcement for all of you wonderful people. If you don't want to grow up to look like me, you better make sure that you stay away from sugar. Uh-oh. Meme says, I will block you. I got rid of it. Okay, good. Good for you. Yeah, I like candy and soda and cakes and pies and everything else you're not supposed to have. So, yeah, it's good to watch. I think it's good to have it here and there. It's like I had some cheesecake over the weekend, and I know it's not technically junk food, but it's a dessert. I try to lay off the desserts, but we had cheesecake over the weekend. But we try to share. So there's ice cream in the refrigerator, but there's some in there that's been there for a couple of months. That's gross. So we try to do that. But Pat, what is your definition of it is a drug? And that's what our new Food and Drug Administrator guy, Kennedy, is saying to everybody. Look, you're being drugged and chemically poisoned by the food in America. So, but my big question, Pat, what's your definition of witchcraft? Do you have any old technology? Oh, God, yes. Yeah, I'm old. So I'm old. I'm technology. You don't realize this, but I'm actually one of the first generation cyborgs. So, or Android or cyborg? Android. I'm like Data from Star Trek, whatever hell he is. Well, we do. We don't have like a house phone. You probably don't know what that is. Where you have a phone mounted to the wall or plugged into the wall. We don't have any of that. But I have a 20. Probably a 25-year-old laptop that still works. We don't have any old TVs or anything. So we don't have a lot of old technology, but we have some. So, okay, so Pat is saying, they say that people can put spells or cast spells on people and make them sick. All right. Here's what I think about that. I don't believe anybody can say a bunch of words and make somebody sick. I don't believe it. I don't believe anybody can do that. I believe people can get inside of other people's heads and make them think I put a spell on you by using words, but I don't think that's possible. I do think people can use chemicals, herbs, plants, plant abstracts, and poison people to cause a spell like on them in that way. But I don't think people can just run around and put hexes and spells on people. I don't think that happens. I don't think it can happen. They can cut pieces of your hair. I see, right, you're right. So that's kind of where I'm at on that. I don't care. I don't think you can cut my hair and put a spell on me. I don't think you can do it. You can poison me and put a spell on me, but you're not going to take a chunk of my hair and put a spell on me. It's just not going to work. Witchcraft, sometimes it's a howling language like English. Howling language was once great to fool you. Okay. I have so many examples to show you. Cool, send me some. Because I've never heard of howling language. It may be a different terminology in my part of the world. But that's what I think. I don't think that can happen. I think it's the power of the mind. I think religion's the power of the mind. I think what people consider ghost is the power of the mind. As we've talked about, I do think there's residual energy that you can sense and feel and even can attach to you, but I don't believe there's Casper the Friendly Ghost running around. Don't believe it. Don't think it at all. I don't. But do I think you can have negative energy? Absolutely. Because everything I believe is rooted in science. I believe in science and logic. So that's just kind of the way I am. I don't know. And I do think there's a misnomer about witches. I do think there are the people that try to practice the black arts, right? Especially like in Haiti or Haitians that cast spells by using chemicals on people. But I do believe that there's a large group of witches that are more, they're called witches, or a lot of people call them witches, but they're more naturalist. They worship nature. They're not trying to conjure the dead or put spells on kitty cats. They're truly in tune to the planet. And they have a much deeper connection with the planet than any of us do. Whether it's a psychological thing or not, but I do believe there's part of us, we can commune with nature. I believe that. We can touch nature. We can feel nature. Meme says, when you can get in other people's head, that's witchcraft. Well, it might be what people call witchcraft. I just think it's weak-minded people allowing people in their head. I don't think it's anything magical. I think it's psychological and basic psychology to get in people's heads. And I think John Baker, you guys all know, Life is Good. He and I both agree that you can commune with nature. I think everybody should do this. At some point in time, if you haven't already done this, and you don't do this, you should go outside and lay down on the ground and rest. The energy from resting on the earth is different than resting on your bed. So for rest, depression, deep rest, yes, yeah. I really believe that you can feel, because I go to, but you got to open your mind to it. All right, settle down, settle down. But you have to open your mind to nature. You have to be willing to go, okay, I know this is crazy, but I'm going to stand here and I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to put my hands on this great big tree, and I'm going to sit here and just feel the tree for a couple of minutes. Now, look, all you may be feeling is vibrations from the winds and the movements, but, you know, it's like aspen trees are all connected together. I think nature is more harmonious than you could ever imagine. Nature is tied together. It's an ecosystem with, obviously, it's an ecosystem, but it's a complete ecosystem that works in harmony together. And humans are the invaders. Yep, get together and look at Bigfoot and ghost hunters. Well, you know what I think about Bigfoot, because I saw Bigfoot. Now we're going to have a crazy dog off. You know, I've seen Bigfoot. We have to do that rather than, yeah, absolutely. I think humans find it really easy to entertain. There you go, Happy. I think that's right. Humans are very easily entertained. We're very easily distracted. So I agree with you. Humans are fun to screw with because humans are easy to screw with. Meme is saying, do you think it's a coincidence that English is the world language? Here's what I think about that one. One, I don't think English is the world language. I don't. But do I think it's a coincidence that as many people can speak it as possible? No, because that's where business comes from. And it's been manipulated. We've made other cultures adopted to do business. So, no. But I don't think it's necessarily the world language. Abby says, so when I go to bed at night and I'm dreaming of the beautiful sheep jumping over the rainbow, the dogs outside my apartment building always fight, bark, and scream. Yeah, sounds like you live in the Philippines. Here, what we do, because we do get a lot of people walking through our neighborhood a lot. What we do at night when we go to bed, and these really work, we have noise canceling machines. So, and why we have those, because it lets us sleep better, but two, the dogs can't hear all the shit outside. So get you a noise canceling machine and you won't be able to hear the dogs. All right. I think we bought two of them. They're about $100 each. They're truly noise canceling machines, not devices that produce the same noise or sound of a noise canceling machine. So there's a difference. You can buy really cheap ones. All they're doing is like a speaker replaying what a noise canceling machine noise makes, but it doesn't cancel the noise. You're just listening to like the radio. But we put about $109 on each one is what we did, we bought. So we have two of them. We keep one in the master bedroom where we're at, and then I have another one in my office. So that way, if my wife's working from home and I'm really loud, I can turn that on, and that helps to keep her world and my world separate. So you can Google that and see if you like noise canceling, a real noise canceling machine. It'll probably give you a lot better sleep. It just will. You won't be able to hear the dogs is the key. So give that a try. But yeah, that's kind of the way life is in the Philippines. And kind of like the way it is here. If we didn't have it, our dogs would be jumping up all night long to go hear the guy walking around the neighborhood that walks around at 11 p.m. every night. And then apparently we have somebody that comes home at 1 a.m. and somebody over here that comes home. And since the neighborhood is so quiet, every time they slam their doors or turn off the car or start their car, you hear it. It echoes. Humans get entertained very easily, and some animals are tricked into a death trap. So yes, animals get trapped or tricked into, like if you have a fox and you put a snare out and you put some dead meat in it, is that what you mean? Then the fox goes and goes, oh, look, a free meal, and boom, they get their leg snatched. So yes, that happens. I agree with that. But humans are very much easily entertained. Now, one of the problems you have to worry about with dogs, if you guys don't know, dogs have a problem of depth perception. So they don't know that the road is 20 feet below them. So when you're walking on a bridge or something, you got to be really careful. Because dogs may look out and see something, and they don't realize that the ground is 20 feet below them. That's why dogs jump out of moving cars, because they don't realize the ground, what's going to happen to them. That's why they jump off the bridges, because they don't understand. They don't see that. And there's a bridge in England that is famous, sadly, for how many dogs have jumped off of it and been killed. Because the way the trees are, and the way the bridge is, the dogs, when they look, they see the trees and they think that's the ground. And they literally jump right over it thinking they're going to go to the grass. But it's not. No is easy. Yeah, it's easy if you know what the vibration does. Yes, it is. And I'm not an expert in it. I just know that they work. And how I knew they worked was when I was doing my psychological counseling after my coma. They had all these noise canceling machines at the outside in the hallway, so nobody could hear what the crazy people in counseling was being said to anybody or anything. Nobody could hear anything. And so that's why I'm like, okay, if that works for that, then we can buy them and keep the dogs calm, because they won't hear, like the car coming home at 1 a.m. and shutting his door really hard, because they're going to jump up and run out and go, "Who? What the hell's going on?" You know, or the guy at 4 a.m. who starts his truck that's, and the dogs are disturbed by that. Galactic Gaming's back in the house. Hello, people. How are we all? We are doing great, man. How are you? What's going on in your part of the world? Appreciate you coming in. Appreciate the thumbs up. Oh, man. We're talking about aliens. We're talking about dogs, noise-canceling machines, vibrations, music. Meme is causing trouble, as always, but that's okay. You know, he's keeping us on our toes. So, yeah, doing good. Oh, hey, Galactic, look, I got a new watch. I got a Timex the other day, you know, a cheap Timex. I was at what we call Walmart. I don't know if you know what a Walmart is. But this is a Timex Expedition. They sell it for about, I don't know, $60 to $70, $80. But I got it on sale for 15 bucks. So I got it, I was going to flip it. But when I got it home and started looking at it, I really liked the band. And, you know, it's kind of tough. It's very lightweight. So Lorelai convinced me, yeah, maybe you ought to just keep it and wear it when you go fishing, because it's, you know, something that I could tear up, and it's digital. It has a little backlit to it. For 15 bucks, man. Went to Ross, but not that cheap clothes. Yeah, Target should be more expensive. Ross usually has fairly cheap clothes, but Ross, you got to remember, Ross's stuff are defective stuff. A lot of them are shirts that aren't right. If you're looking at it, the product is misaligned. Maybe the pocket's crooked, or they got one piece of the shirt backwards. There's something not right. A lot of stuff at Ross. The best thing you can do if you want to buy cheap clothing is use the Walmart app and search for clearance items at Walmart. Use the app and scan the barcodes. Like we just sent some children's clothing to the Philippines as a gift. 5 or 6 outfits worth about $60, 70, 80, 90, probably $100. And we paid like $5 for it all. Galactic says he's going to be, oh yeah, it is kind of cool. It's just, it's a very extremely lightweight, which I like small lightweight watches. Very cool, right? For $15. I can beat the crap out of it and not stress over it. Yes, I've been to Vegas. Meme is coming to Vegas next year. He's going to come over here and work a festival. But yes, we've been to Vegas, definitely. We stayed at the Paris Hotel and Resort in Vegas. We went to the Grand Canyon and did a bunch of other stuff. We went and looked at Louis Vuitton purses for my wife, but we didn't buy one because we have no money. We ate at a bunch of restaurants. We ran around the city. So yeah, we gambled a little bit. As always, sounds amazing. So yeah, if you get a chance to go to Vegas, I recommend it. If you're into nature at all, what I would encourage you to really do, go to the Grand Canyon while you're there. I've told the story that there's been very few things that have really amazed me in my life. One of them is the Grand Canyon. I saw the Grand Canyon and it blew my freaking mind. The other was the first time I went to the Philippines and I spent 12 hours in an airplane at one time, flying 600 miles an hour. Meaning this planet's a big ass planet. So that kind of wow sunk in that how big the planet Earth is. But the Grand Canyon's great. Vegas is good, a lot of good food there. A lot of dope smoking on the streets. It's a pretty liberal place. So yeah. Thinking about a week in an RV than a week in a hotel. Ugh. I like nature. Grand Canyon looks amazing. Yes. Tate's in the house. Young Sanders, how are you, my friend? Everybody say hello to each other. I guess if you know where there's an RV that you can stay in, I guess you're wanting to do the little bit of nature camping thing with RVing. Not a bad thing. There's a lot of RV places that are cool. I personally, if I was going to Vegas again, we'd stay at a luxury resort. I can go camping anywhere, but I can't stay in cool luxury casinos all the time. That's kind of how I look at it. Out here roaming the roads, are you, my friend? Everybody subscribe to Sanders. If you haven't done that, subscribe to each other. So Sanders, roaming those roads, making that money. How did your night off go? Did you have a good time? Were you able to relax a little bit? And Sanders, the other question I have for you, we're going to go to Alabama here soon. We're hoping that you could come up and just drive us. Can we hire you to come up and drive us? You got to drive from your place to my place, then us to Alabama, then you can go back home, then come back in a week and do it all over again. But we can only pay you $10. All right, I got you. Okay. A luxury RV and travel through the desert. Very good. I agree with you there. That would be worth doing. We have a lot of light pollution around where I live. Yeah, we do. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, Meme is going to the Electric Daisy Carnival in Vegas in next year. You said March, right? March of next year or May of next year? Sure can do it for $10, right? And you pay all the gas? Just checking. If you manage to invent cloning, what would you do? Well, it's already been invented. So cloning's here. We've cloned a sheep before. We've cloned frogs. And now I think we brought back the dire wolf. So just feed you? All right. Well, I don't know. How much do you eat? I got a granola bar, you know. So Happy's wondering what you guys would clone if you had the ability to clone. Mame, do you believe in planets? Yeah, I believe there's planets. Sure. Happy would clone people. Yes, you want to die or when they become publicly accessible? Yeah, you know, it's kind of like when bringing back the mammoth, you know. Yep, the woolly moss, yep, yep, I know. And the mammoth. So, yeah, they've been doing some things. I wouldn't clone, here's what I would do, to be honest. I wouldn't clone humans at all. I would not clone humans. I would clone animals to eat, is what I would do. Maybe chickens. I would clone animals so people have cheaper food to eat worldwide. That's what I would do with cloning. Yeah, science is getting very interesting. We are entering the sci-fi age. Well, I think we've kind of been in the sci-fi age, but I know what you mean. You know. Wow, congratulations, Sanders. Everybody say congratulations to Sanders. He finally got his 1,000 bananas on YouTube. Nice, buddy. Yeah, I'm still working on getting to 4,000. I'm trying hard. But, man, that's great. That's great. I'm very proud of you. Happy for you. And I'm glad you got to spend some quality time with family. Well, Pat says, I hear that people want to make human people into robots. I know we're making robots. I don't know about making androids. I mean, you know. The problem would be we would make all the androids hot and sexy. That's the problem. Mankind would make these sex bots. You know this is what would happen. Come on. You know, we're all smart here. If we started making an android, it would be just sexy, hot beings for one purpose. When you die, oh, turn you into a robot after you die? Ugh. Kind of smell bad, maybe. Happy Airplane says, Super Mario was originally going to be called Mr. Jumpman. Well, I'm glad they didn't call him Mr. Jumpman because that would have got turned around to Mr. Junkie Man. So, yeah, I don't know about that. I think we're a long ways from having an android. I just do. A living skin and hair and, you know, living over, you know, a metal or electronic body. I think we're very, 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 very far. But if we made them, they would just be hot, sexy men and women. You know, that's what they would be for. And they'd be very expensive to own. But we know what they'd be for. It's kind of like what the Japanese already does. The Japanese make these rubber dolls that apparently men buy all over the world, who has now their wives, and they're really just rubber dolls. So, but I guess that's, you know, a big business in Japan. That's what I heard, brother. Oh, I know. There's a lot of people talking about that. Donkey Kong got copyrighted by King Kong. All right. Donkey Kong was always funny to me. Have you ever been to Mexico? You don't want to ask where Donkey Kong is in Mexico. Have you ever heard my voice? Well, you know, I went to your stuff one time, Lorelai and I did. But I don't think we heard your voice. I think we saw some of your, like, techno, is that what it's called? Techno music? But I can't remember we've heard your voice. I've heard Pat's voice. And Sanders' voice. I've heard my own voice, which is really weird. Why is it that our voice, does anybody know this? Why is it that our voice sounds so weird to us? Why is it that what I think I sound like apparently is nothing of what you guys think I sound like? That's what I want to know. I don't understand that. And one thing I really don't understand is why is it when I go to any damn drive-through in the world, I pull up and go through the drive-through and I order something, they always say, "Thank you, ma'am," or "Please pull forward, ma'am." I'm not a freaking ass ma'am. Do I sound like a girl? No. Now I gotta go in there and go, "Can you give me a Big Mac and a cheeseburger?" Yeah. Yeah, we met in a video call, Pat says. Yes, we did. That's a noisy plane. Must be a prop plane gonna land at our airport down here. So yeah, but Meme, you're an expert in sound. Why is it that, I think I got a horrible voice. I personally don't like my voice. Does anybody like their own voice? That's another question. Do you guys like hearing yourself? Do you like it? I think mine sucks. I don't like it at all. At all. And got to remember, I talk a lot, and I've taught a lot, taught and talked forever. I don't like my voice. Don't like it at all. Another question is for you. If you could talk like anybody, who would you talk like? I would like to talk like maybe James Earl Jones or the guy, what's his name, Guy Harvey, and the rest of the story. Remember him, Guy Harvey? Was that Guy Harvey? Who had the radio stuff where he's always had that. And the rest of the story is, Brother Mark says, "Hello, good deal. I'm glad Brother Mark is doing good in the Philippines. He's going to come back with a big old smile on his face like he's never had before, isn't he, Pat?" He thinks he's going to join your channel, Brother Dave. Good. We need all the subscribers and support we can get. He can shout us out in the Philippines while he's there and encourage all of them to join us. I would greatly appreciate all of that. But yeah, we're wishing him good luck. And we hope everything turns out well for him. It's because our bones and muscles in our mouth and neck rattle, vibrate, go into our ears, but other persons will sound different because they don't hear the bones and the muscles moving. All right. Hey, Simply Nanette's in the house. How are you? Good to see you. Everybody say hello to our good friend Simply, please. Say hello. Be nice and say hello. Pat gives a big thumbs up or a yes for that one. That's the reason why. I know, but I don't like it. Meme is dropping, and Simply, as you probably heard me say 1,000 times, and this is for Sanders and everybody. If you're blue, you're welcome to drop your link at any time. You don't got to ask permission, Simply. So if you got a link you want to share, you're welcome to do it. Simply saying Happy Easter to all of you wonderful people, all of you great people that support the Adventures of the Philippine American channel, who's the greatest YouTube channel in the entire world, and guy who has the best looking hats and tropical shirts. She says, thank you all for supporting them. Simply Net, hope you don't mind, I ad-lib for you. Yeah, it's Wednesday here. Well, it's Tuesday here, Tuesday night. So tomorrow's Wednesday for us. It's been a beautiful day here, though. I would have the voice of Morgan Freeman. Hi, Simply from Pat. Simply, how's the weather in the Philippines? Because you're in the Philippines, right? I couldn't remember if you're still there or you were overseas. So Tim was in here earlier, who's in the Philippines, and he was complaining that it was 107 yesterday. It's all about the frequencies. So how do we change the frequency so that I can sound like James Earl Jones or somebody like that? That's what I want to know. How do I get a deep, sexy voice? Hi, baby. What you up to? How was the macaroni and cheese you had for lunch? So, just one of those things. I always thought James Earl Jones had a cool voice. But Guy Harvey was another one. a very smooth, slick voice. Just listen to this track. Okay, I'll come back and catch it up. I'll have to. I'll catch it up tonight, meme. So I'll watch that tonight. So yeah, I find that interesting. I just don't know why people think I sound like a girl. I mean, if you didn't know I was here, you think I would sound like a girl? Ever watched your own video? I do. I have. I've done that from the beginning of teaching. One of the best things you can do to be a better public speaker is to video record yourself and watch it come back. And I've done that. And I've improved my speaking, my public speaking greatly, but I still suck at it. But I have improved it intentionally and worked hard at it, yes. So I have. Back even before YouTube, long before YouTube, we, in the classroom, we would record ourselves giving a lecture, then I would go back and study what I didn't like. Trying to look something on Amazon, hold my phone up where I can get my YouTube channel. All right, my phone is Samsung Galaxy S24, nice. We have old iPhones. We're too poor to get new phones. So we just have the old iPhones that we've had for a long time, which we like. Got some really good news. Do you guys want to hear the good news? Does anybody care what I think is good news? You got to use your recording voice instead of your imagination voice. I didn't think I had an imagination voice, but maybe I do. Now, I will say that over the years in public speaking, I've learned to try to speak slower, more methodically, to use more emphasis and de-emphasize in certain times and points. I've learned to try not to say as much as I do. But that's hard to get rid of. Bad habits. I've tried to look more nicer. I've tried to, when I would lecture, walk not as assertive to the students. Is that a selfie stick, Brother David? What? Meme says, I already sound like a prince. Good. A selfie stick, what do you mean? The one, what I'm on? It's a tripod. I got you guys mounted on a tripod, a real tripod. Because the tripod that you guys are mounted on is designed for our digital real camera system. But it works great for this. But it's a bigger, heavier, dutier tripod. Because we have a really nice digital Canon camera that we take pictures with sometimes. No, it's a tripod. Just, here, I can show you if you want me to show you. So, it's a tripod. But it has an adapter for your phone, and this is what I added, and or an iPad, a bigger one. And then you can take this off, of course, right here, and put your real camera on it. Let me get you guys back in there. Yeah, well, here's what I recommend. Yeah, Amazon does, Pat. If you, I can find, Pat, if you give me a little bit, I can send you a link because I got this one off of Amazon. Because I broke the original. So I bought this one off of Amazon. It's only like 30 or 40 bucks. But here's what I'll tell you guys. This I use for live streaming like this, okay? Because, you know, it's hands-free, it's very stable. We do have selfie sticks that have little legs, But I don't really care for those. Now, we have selfie sticks that we use, like when we go to the parks and we go run around and stuff, and Lorelei's blogging. So we do that a lot, without question. But I also have a, what'd you call it? One of these devices that you just saw that the phone snaps in that mounts to a clamp. And so it has like a big gator mouth that can go over a bar, and you can tighten it down, and it works as like a tripod, but you can mount it to a boat. You can mount, that's what I put on my mobility scooter on the handle when I'm driving around and you guys are with me fishing. It's mounted to my mobility scooter, not this tripod. And it only takes up about this much space. And I'll send you a picture of that if you want, Pat. And I got those off Amazon too. Lawson says, I'm going to go to sleep now and dream of beautiful android women because I went to my track meet and didn't do so well. So it's better just to dream of beautiful android women from space. Lawson, we appreciate you. Get some rest, my friend. I know running track is not the easiest thing to do. So, but that's what I do. That's how I do. You know, Lorelei uses selfie sticks some, but we don't like selfie sticks to live stream on like this because they're unstable. I will. I'll send you some of that, Pat. That's what we do, and we have them. They're just too unstable for us. We don't like them. But if you're going to handheld, a selfie stick is good. But if you're going to try to tabletop mount, we do have a gyro, one of those gimbals. You know, I do have a gimbal that we paid good money for, but I've never got around to using it a whole lot. It's so touchy to control that, you know, you jerk around a lot more than you thought. I didn't realize how sensitive it was going to be. So we don't use it a lot. I could, and it has a tracking on it, but I just don't use it a lot. I just find it, you know, Lorelei, you know, like, man, you spent like $150 on that and you don't even use it. I say, yeah, I know. Yeah. Because, you know, you got to think about a couple of different things. Doing live streams, you know, you do them kind of like this, stationary, or you can walk around. You need a selfie stick if you're going to walk around and do a live stream. So, and I've done that, but I use a selfie stick for that. The gimbal is really good for that, as long as it stays connected to your phone, because technology, the phone and the gimbal has to marry or pair. But once it unpairs, then the phone goes crazy and you got to start it back up. So, but a gimbal's really good for walking around doing video. A lot of these guys that do a lot of walking and video, you know, they use a monopod, you know, and they hold it, but it can stand up and rest, and they got their system on that. And I've seen a couple of the monopods, good ones, they're expensive, that also has legs that can come down and help stabilize it. So, but a lot of cheap stuff out there, a lot of good stuff. The only thing I would say is I like metal, not plastic. And that's partly why I got that one that I use on my mobility scooter, and I'll show you a picture and what it is. But it's all metal, because I have a tendency to break these plastic pieces. So I like the metal stuff with rubber coating, but I need them to be tougher. Can you do a 24-hour long recording with the Polaris Star as an X? I don't know. That sounds definitely way above my pay grade, so to speak, meme. I guess you could, but it would, if your phone was stationary, you'd have to put tracking on it. So, and I don't know how you would do that, because, you know, no, I don't think you could do that at all. No, you can't do that. You could not. The rotation, you wouldn't allow it. Yeah, you couldn't do that at all. You couldn't even do that with the sun. So, yeah, you can't do that. No. I hope that, yeah, I got you. You can't do that. You can't trick me. We're not in a flat earth. Man, who do you think we are? We're not flat earthers. But the gimbal is pretty cool, but I just don't use it a lot. I don't know. I like my poor dog, Lily. You okay, Lily? I like the one that I use for my scooter, and I like this tripod for doing stuff like this. And if you remember those Christmas ones, the Christmas live streams I did, and the Halloween party, I set the phone up and live streamed, and I jacked it up on this tripod and had it looking out this way. That's one of the other reasons I got this bigger, heavier duty tripod, because I wanted the camera to sit up and look that way. So, huh, Lily? Is that what you wanted to, Lily? I know, you're a pretty dog. I feel so bad for my dog, Lily, that has the crippled leg. You know, I know her heart and her lungs were damaged in that car when that car ran her over. And some days she just feels bad. You can just tell she's having a bad day. And the last couple of days she's been having kind of a yuckiness. She's kind of just been tired and sad looking, you know, and having trouble walking, getting around. You know, it's like I just lay down here because I'm tired type of vibe. But, you know, that's the way it is. I don't know. It's sad. Poor little doggies. Poor little doggies. It's almost 9 o'clock here, everybody. So I think it's going to get close time for tonight for me to wind this down. And then I'll come back and do another live stream tomorrow night. And we'll probably do a few more this week, later in the nights. And then, you never know. We may do a live stream in the middle of the night here really soon on our way to Alabama. And then, or in the morning, you just never know. We may live stream letting you guys, you know, you never know what we're going to do. We're going to do a lot of stuff in Alabama, I hope. That's why tomorrow, even though I got a large memory, tomorrow I'm going to go and delete a bunch of stuff off of my phone that's already on my desktop so that I can free up my phone space just in case. But we're going to live stream definitely at different areas. I know Lorelai's going to do it, and I'll do it. So we're going to do a lot of that in Alabama in the next week. So you guys will see us in Alabama next week. But I'll come back maybe later tomorrow night and do a live stream later in the night. So, all right, everybody. I remember I'll try to check your links out. Please try to think about. Yeah, I saw the picture you sent me. And I have thought about it, and I have it. I just think the way you're looking at it is incorrect. It's like this way versus this way. So I guess my question for you, Meme, is what do you want me to come to the conclusion of in the picture? You know what I mean? I don't know what the result is that you're looking for from me. I look at it and go, well, it could be a lot of different things. You know, it could be the camera doing this and going around the stars. Yeah, we're not on a flat Earth. I agree, we're not. We're on a fat Earth, but not a flat Earth. So, but I've looked at it and I'm like, well, there could be a lot of ways that could be configured. You know, a lot of different ways I see that it can be done. Yes, I'm sure. Absolutely, 1,000%. This planet is round. Absolutely. And I would be willing 1,000% to bet my life on it. Absolutely. Bet everything. Absolutely 1,100 quadrillion %. There's nothing you could ever do to convince me that this Earth is flat. I've been around this Earth. This Earth is big and it's round. It is not flat. And I understand the science behind both, but the science behind the flat earthers is junk science. This is how I feel. It just doesn't work. And plus the logic's not there. So, but anyway. All right, my friends, it is 9 o'clock. We will be back tomorrow night. You guys all take care. Pat, Meme, appreciate you. Let me go through here. Lawson, we appreciate you. Simply Nanette, appreciate you. Galactic Gaming, appreciate you. Happy Airplane, we appreciate you. Give you guys all a shout out tonight. All of you Sanders, both Sanders, we appreciate both of you Sanderses. So thank you all for being here tonight. Let's see, who else was here early? Tim was here for a while. Our other little friend, Gabe, was here till his mama called him to dinner. So we thank everybody and appreciate everybody. So, all right, my friends. All right, I'll do it. Take care, everybody. We will see you tomorrow.